Here we're going to add elements to the head element in our web page, and the things that we add to the head inside of the head are instructions to the site, but not things that will show up directly on the site. We're going to start off. So first of all, if you type on a Mac and you open the file on a PC, things like quotes and accent marks and so on generally don't show up correctly. You'll get a bunch of gibberish in place. And if you type on a PC and you open it on a Mac, you'll get the same thing, only kind of in reverse, and you get all this junk in your type. What we want to do, so that's a problem. If you're designing a website and you're doing it on a Mac, you want people on PCs to be able to read it. If you do it on a PC, you want a Mac to read it. So what we want to do is we want to tell the website to use a universal encoding system. So I'm going to go meta charset equals UTF-8. And that encodes our website, so it doesn't matter what computer opens up this website, the characters will appear correctly. Okay. Next, we're going to add something called a title. Okay, so the title is going to appear in the tab at the top of your browser when you open up your page. And it's very important as part of something called search engine optimization. It's this first piece of information that Google looks at to see what this web page is about. And so it's going to know that this is about architect Walter Gropius. So title is super important. Next, we're going to tell the browser that this site is going to be a site that can be viewed, that's intended to be viewed on multiple devices. So I'm going to go meta name equals viewport. Be careful when you're typing, because this particular program is not exactly consistent about where it puts the cursor, and sometimes it puts the cursor inside the quotes and sometimes it puts some outside the quotes. So it's easy to get confused. Okay. Next, content equals width device width equals device width, comma, initial scale equals 1. Okay. Backslash greater than. So it's telling the viewport, whatever is viewing this document, that the width of this website should be the width of the device and that it should be at 100%. So width equals device dash width, no spaces, no capital letters, and then comma, space, initial dash scale equals 1. And all of that is within the quote marks. And that's very important because Google actually looks to see if this piece of code is here to determine whether it's going to include the site as in its responses. Sites that say that don't include that code are considered to be non-responsive websites, and Google doesn't. I think it's very rare for Google to return them as a valid site. Okay, finally, when Google sends a response, it gives you the title of a website and then it gives you a paragraph about the website. Now, Google will piece together information about the website itself if you don't include this next tag, but it's really much better if you write a description of the site than that Google writes a description of the site. So less than meta, name equals quote description. And then content equals something like n dash 1932, period. Don't quote me on those dates, but that's what I remember as being. And then backslash greater than. Okay. So there I've given a description for Google to give us when we're looking through a list of websites to see which one we want to look at. Next, I'm going to go over to Chrome. Right before I do that, I'm going to remember that I need to save this file. File, save as. Ruby 5, save. I also want to mention that I would take this text. In fact, I'd take this entire section from here down to here and copy it and place it in a text-only file so that you can copy and paste it into any site that you create. I mean, you might want to take out this specific information and that specific information, but you'll be using this at the top of all of your web pages for probably a very long time, unless, of course, you need to add additional information, as you will see. Okay, now, so that's saved as 5. New share, go to Chrome, and I'm going to hit refresh. And you'll see that now up in our tab, it says Architect Walter Gropius. And you won't really see any other differences unless, of course, you had been looking at this site and seeing characters that weren't correct. They should now all be, all the characters should be correct, all the quotes and dashes and everything. Okay.